All right, my people, this one is hot, and I need you to sit down because the timeline has been doing overtime ever since whispers started flying that Sonia Utch allegedly snatched Maurice Sam from Pearl Watts. And you already know when three fine Nollywood stars are involved, the internet will not sleep, so let's break this down the way the bloggers do. Because the energy has been loud, the side eyes have been louder. And the comment sections have been doing investigative journalism. Without license, now allegedly things were all calm when Maurice and Pearl were giving soft couple vibes, subtle posts. Matching appearances, little flirty comments, nothing too loud. But enough to make fans start shipping them hard. And then boom, enter Sonia with that glow, that confidence, that soft but dangerous aura. And suddenly the chemistry on set between Sonia and Maurice started looking a little too natural, a little too comfortable, a little too close for fans to ignore. And you know how it goes once people start zooming into body language. Is over because screenshots started flying, clips started trending, and people began saying, wait a minute, what is really going on here? Now let's talk about how people are claiming Sonia snatched him. Because from what social media detectives are saying, Maurice started spending more time around Sonia movie promotions, interviews, behind-the-scenes laughter that looked a little too deep, and those long eye contacts that fans swear cannot be acting. And while all that was happening, Pearl allegedly went quiet no more. Subtle hints, no more cozy appearances, and that silence spoke louder than any caption ever could. And that is when the rumor mill went from slow spinning to full tornado mode. Now, some people are saying Sonia did not snatch anybody because Maurice is a grown man and makes his own choices. And that is facts, but you know the internet loves a dramatic storyline. So they painted it like Sonia walked in with main character energy and Maurice folded instantly, because according to fans, the way he looks at her during interviews is different. They say his smile is wider, his body leans closer, his voice softens. And let's be honest, chemistry like that will always spark rumors, whether it is real or just good acting. Now here is where it gets interesting. Because while Maurice seemed to be enjoying the flirty banter and the attention that came with being linked to Sonia, there are whispers that he started missing Pearl after the excitement cooled down. And that right there is where the plot thickens, because people noticed that he began liking old posts, throwing subtle throwbacks and posting captions that sounded a little too reflective, a little too emotional, like somebody who realized the grass is not always greener. And you know how social media users are, they will connect dots. Even if the dots are in different countries, they started saying, oh, he thought the vibe with Sonia was thrilling and new, but now he is realizing Pearl brought peace and stability. And sometimes you do not appreciate calm love until you trade it for butterflies that may or may not last. Now, I am not saying that is exactly what happened, but that is the narrative the streets are pushing. And honestly, it sounds like a full Nollywood script. Because imagine this, you have Pearl, who fans describe as calm, confident, and secure. Then you have Sonia, who walks into a room and owns it effortlessly. And Maurice caught in the middle, enjoying the attention, the chemistry, the excitement, and maybe not thinking long term. Because sometimes people get carried away by proximity, especially when you are working closely with someone attractive, talented, and constantly praised as your perfect on-screen match. And before you know it, lines start blurring. Now, the alleged twist is that after all the flirting and all the speculation, Maurice supposedly started feeling nostalgic about Pearl. And people pointed out that his energy online shifted, less playful, more thoughtful, almost like someone who stepped back and started reflecting. And fans are saying maybe he realized that what he had with Pearl was deeper than what he was building with Sonia, because flirting is fun, but foundation is different. And when the cameras go off and the lights are down, excitement alone does not hold everything together. And let's talk about Pearl for a second, because while all this drama was trending, she allegedly stayed classy, no messy posts, no shady captions, just minding her business, glowing and letting the internet talk. And sometimes silence is the loudest response, because the more she stayed unbothered, the more people sympathized with her, saying she deserved better, saying she was too real to be played. And that narrative only added fuel to the story that Maurice might be missing what he had. Now, on the Sonia side, her fans argue that she did nothing wrong. They say she is single, she is free, she is focused on her career. And if Maurice gravitated toward her, that is on him. And honestly, that is a valid angle too, because women always get labeled as snatchers when men make their own decisions. So the debate has been intense. Was this a case of someone stealing someone else's man? Or was it simply two actors getting close while working together, and the outside world overanalyzing every smile and every touch? And let's not ignore how fame magnifies everything. Because in regular life, people flirt, people drift apart, people reconnect. But when celebrities do it, every move becomes content, every glance becomes evidence, and every caption becomes a clue. And that pressure alone can complicate feelings. Because imagine trying to figure out your emotions while thousands of strangers are voting on who you should be with. Now back to the alleged missing pearl situation. Because fans pointed out that Maurice seemed less loud about Somia after a while and more introspective overall. And you know how heartbreak or regret energy can look online, subtle quotes about loyalty, growth, lessons learned. And people immediately assumed he was feeling the absence of Pearl. And sometimes you do not know the value of steady love until you are in uncertain territory. And again, this is all speculation, but it has been enough to keep blogs busy and comment sections divided, with Team Somia on one side, praising her beauty, charisma, and undeniable chemistry, with Maurice and Team Pearl on the other side saying real ones always come back. When the excitement fades now, whether Maurice truly misses Pearl or not, only he knows. But what is clear is that the alleged triangle created buzz, boosted engagement, and kept all three names trending. Because let's be honest, controversy and romance rumors sell and fans eat it up every single time. And in the middle of all this, one thing stands out: growth. Because if any of them felt hurt or confused, hopefully lessons were learned about clarity, communication, and not letting public pressure dictate private decisions. And at the end of the day, nobody can truly snatch what is solid. If a connection is strong, it survives temptation. If it is fragile, it shakes. And maybe this whole saga was just a reminder that chemistry is powerful, but compatibility is deeper, and flirting is exciting. But emotional security hits different, and whether Maurice is missing Pearl, or still vibing with Somia, or simply focused on himself, one thing is certain: the internet will keep watching, analyzing, and turning every interaction into a headline. Because when stars like these are involved, the story never really ends, it just evolves. And my people, that is why this alleged snatching and missing situation has remained one of the juiciest conversations online. Because it mixes beauty, ego, attraction, pride, and that classic what if regret energy that everybody secretly relates to on some level. And until someone comes out to confirm or deny everything, the speculation will keep running wild. And honestly, that is the magic and the madness of celebrity romance rumors in the social media era.